W Hospital by Pratiksha. They are from Assam. And it is a dream which is converted in a W hospital. Not only to bring it as a commercial hospital, but something to give back to the society also. And among the women who are not so privileged, among the underprivileged section, for which we have lots of plans, which we will share with you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. Once again, a very good morning and a very hearty welcome to each and every one of you. And while this demo is just about to join us, in the meantime, I will request Dr. B.K. Bajaj to please come on the podium and give us an introduction to W Hospital.
The only women's hospital by two of us, me and my colleague Dr. Pramod Sharma. We are here in this world because of the women. So it is time for us now to repay whatever we can in the basic manner. Treatment is the health, the total health of the woman. Nowadays, the lifespan of women in general, these are the days of late marriages. Women get married at about 25, 28, 30 years or even late. And the minority is about 12, 13. In the period of adolescence, where a lot of problems come up and they need a solution. This might not need treatment, medical treatment, but this might need advice and various preventive measures to help her maintain her good health. Then comes the reproductive period, which starts from 28, 30 years after various other factors. The incidence of fertility is rising. So, here, another sphere needs to be paid attention is the treatment and management and treatment of infertility, which might be as simple counseling, and you can live up to 75. So 30 years, she passes the period of menopause, and that needs special attention. There are various problems of menopause which need attention, and we are there. So it is not only the delivery or the removal of the uterus, which is gynecology and obstetrics. Now there are various. Why we thought of a only women's hospital where we can give a holistic approach to the health of the woman. You will go to the hospital, you will have a round of the hospital, and I think, and I'm sure so much.
The panel discussion.
Thank you, Megha, and very warm welcome to all of you on this bright Sunday morning. It has stopped raining, and the sun is out, and a perfect opportune day to welcome all of you to this International Women's Day. So very, very warm welcome and happy International. On behalf of the W team, I welcome again all of you. So I will start with our panelists without wasting any further time. I'd like to call on the dais Dr. Pratima Mittal. She is a senior gynecologist of Delhi. She is also a master trainer in adolescent health, and I would say the doyen of adolescent health care training in northern India. And she's also the executive of the Technical Resource Group Ministry. Has received several accolades in the field of education, leadership, and social work. And to name a few of the awards she's had the Bharat Shiksha Ratna Award, the Mother Teresa Sadbhavna Awardee, and the Indo-Asia Achievers Awardee. She's well traveled and has an abundance of experience in molding the future leaders, and we really for the underprivileged, vulnerable, and marginalized segments of the society. And she has worked with several national and international development agencies such as UNICEF, Oxfam, CARE, and Giri Institute over the last 2.5 decades. She has started a Radiant Kids School for working and underprivileged children at Charsa Village, and her social work has received widespread coverage. You have her here with us. I would also like to welcome Mrs. Radhika Duggal. She is the face of the leading business woman of today. She is heading the Alliances and Partnership Business for Kankai Direct, a leading direct marketing firm for the last 12 years. Have this style icon here with us. Coming to the youngest of our panelists, and like Mr. Bajaj, she'll work with Able Charities, where she has been appointed the General Secretary. Working towards human rights and continuing social work has directed her towards undertaking an MA in the same subject. I would also like to welcome Dr. We are very happy that you are here and have spared the time to come. Okay. So, where does health stand today in the world, in the eyes of an empowered woman? And my first question goes to Dr. Pratima. Dr. Pratima, in all your years of experience as a gynecologist looking at and treating women day in and day out, what are the common problems, what are the important problems women come with?
Good morning. Obstetrician and gynecologist, my aim has been to deal with the problems later, but before that, deal with the preventive aspects also. And our aim has been to protect the rights and to prevent the diseases and to treat the diseases. So all the three things have to be taken into consideration. Problems nowadays. And when we come to the reproductive age group, again the problems of menstrual problems are always a part of pregnancies. And then we come to the perimenopausal age group, again the problems of abnormal uterine bleeding, and besides that we have the problems of cancers which are also cropping up, and after that again hormonal problems and the metabolic problems which are coming more commonly in the postmenopausal age group. So that is the whole plethora of problems which we are facing, mainly the endocrine problems, mainly the menstrual problems, malignancies, and the metabolic diseases.
Thank you, Dr. Pratima. In maybe words or maybe a little better, but yes, these are the main issues I think which face women these days. Mrs. Aparna Lakshmi, my next question is to you. Looking at all these problems, what do you feel as a healthcare receiver or a belonging? So what prevents her from taking a preventive approach? What barriers does she feel if she wants to take a medical opinion?
We do not have a preventive approach. We do not take a price. Exercise is a very important factor which really is the, you could say it's the wheel, it's the oiling of the wheel of a body. It's the oiling of a body which in a sports, they face much more for them pregnancy and such.
Tried to take high calorie food and I gained another 5 kgs. Now I'm 55. My working hours were limited up to 6 to 8 hours. Now I'm active and I feel women are empowered in our society. Only thing is we have to spread this word outside the cities also. That if you know your own body, you have to go for regular medical checkups. Now after losing 45 kgs, which would not have been possible otherwise, by whatever clinics, whatever diets, whatever we do, I am able to work more, and 4 things. Cancer was in my maternal family, maternal side. I have got rid of arthritis for another 10-15 years. I've got rid of heart disease. I've got rid of diabetes. They are at least 10-15 years away from me now. But by sharing this, I have been telling everybody that I have undergone a bariatric surgery. I don't say that I go for long walks. I don't get the time. I'm very busy. As an educationist, we all know the day starts very early. We all have to be dressed up and reach the school by 7:45.
I think that's a very beautiful example you gave. But we come to the next. You also mentioned that I think perhaps what holds them back from taking an empowered decision is also probably family pressures, or the social and the economic. Mrs. Radhika Duggal, you are you are a businesswoman. If you work and you have a family and you take up all these challenges every day. So tell me, what health risks do you think that this challenging lifestyle and family pressures and everything, do you think that there are something more specific which throw up risks with such a challenging lifestyle?
Good morning, and many thanks for having me here. I'm really wondering the challenges which actually such a new age life poses to working women who manage homes, who are juggling with careers, family commitments, growing up, national phenomenon which really comes in. And stress is primarily because of paucity of time, ineffective time management, despite the fact that we want to do it well, but we're not able to do it well often. And also, the demands of deadlines at work, at home. Reach out to somebody who's available to talk to you, to even discuss, just to make you feel comfortable and make you understand that, this can be handled. Access.
When you see women in your clinic, in obs and gynae, how much of a role does stress play in diseases of the women and this hectic lifestyle? How much does it contribute, and how much do we as doctors are able to actually address this issue of stress?
Because we are having nuclear family, so there is a stress of women at a workplace as well as about her children, because they are being left at a crèche or in a house with the ayahs or a maid. So this is a very big point. He is in safe hands, and the moral values with the child gets from her these grandparents is a major factor nowadays.
I'd like to ask one thing. Your generation is generation of tomorrow, the generation of tomorrow's women. In your work and your perception, what are the emerging health risks or health issues actually among the young adult women of today? And what challenges will they face when asking for help?
They do not know about. And after all the surveys I've conducted in slums, so basically these young girls start working in slums working in houses at a very small age. And they don't know and they don't have any information about all of these things. And the youngsters, if I speak to my friends, they feel that they are not comfortable going to a doctor and thinking that what will the doctor feel about my issues. And if they see all around pregnant and lactating mothers coming to the doctor, for the newly married ladies, they are mostly dependent on mother-in-laws and mothers. But the issues that come up with this, like in the
Alcohol, drugs, and I think it's really not this thing anymore. It's not a barrier anymore for anybody to get a hold of alcohol or drugs, whether it's in a college or school or whether it's.
Parents need to be counseled, and sensitization towards issues like these should be done by sensitized towards what is happening in the world, how they have to maintain mutual respect. All good teachers at like what CBSE or our All India curriculum is and wrong should be taught at school level, which is not available in any textbooks. It is not available in any textbooks, but all good schools makes the character of the school, and teachers should be trained to deal with all this with every age group in the school. It should start at school level.
I'd like to ask you, what is the source of healthcare information among the youngsters? Is it the media, or is it the peer group, or is it the parents? What would you say if I ask you to classify whether media or peer group or the parents? Whom would a young person like you go to if she has an issue which she feels like? Okay, so it's Google, right? It's the net. And do you get the right information on the net?
not the right information, but yes, a generalized information. So basically, there are questions put up by all the teenagers and youngsters among, like in the world, among the world. So you get generalized answers, and then the second best thing you can do is you can ask and you can put up questions in your peer group. And the last thing you come to is like your parents or a counselor.
And of course, not all know English. They know very basic English. So for them, what is a fallback for education queries? Whom do they go to? They actually have to bridge that gap. All intellectuals, we have to bridge that gap. Everybody who has something to give back to society, whether it is through their brain power, it is through their manpower, or through their money. All of us need to do that. We need जो अपना समय नहीं भी दे सकते. Sorry, I'm speaking in Hindi, but I'm very much a grassroots person. जो अपना समय नहीं, पहले हमारी जो हम लोग जॉइंट फैमिली में रहते थे वो अब नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी हम एक दूसरे का संबल बन सकते हैं. Support group we can still have, we can still form. And I think through your CSR also, which you mentioned, not only just awareness, we do need.
There are to-be mothers and there are mothers here. And I just wanted to ask, starting from the doctors, what challenges does being a mother or motherhood face today for the modern woman? Being a mother in the
Proper information and the information which is available on the net, as she said, and other sources are so vast and so broad, but the authenticity of that information is not there. So she really does not know problems, which are very, very sensitive issues, and even as a mother, you are not able to talk to your boys and your children, your girl students also about the sexuality issues, and they get it wrong. Well, their adolescent or their children or her own problem, even regarding contraception and other MPP services, whether she will be getting it in a privacy will be maintained, her confidentiality will be maintained, that also is maintained with the providers. You should not be maintaining any discrimination. At times, the poor people feel that they are discriminated. They are not getting the right services which they should be. So whenever we talk of the woman, we have to protect the rights of the woman. She should be available. She should be having services available to her. All type of services, treatment, and rest of the treatment available should be offered to her without any.
Have a very comprehensive healthcare plan for a woman, right from the time she wants to conceive or even thinks of conceiving, because as Dr. Bajaj mentioned, marriages are happening late, so the planning for having a child comes to the woman right at her doorstep. And I just wanted to know from the panel, what role would media play in dispersing this kind of information? Does media play a responsible role? Does media play a very confidential role?
Little out of control and perhaps exploited to a large extent. The way it's portrayed, whether it is on electronic media, whether it's papers. So not that I'm taking away what media does in terms of creating awareness, but the source of responsibility or the sense of responsibility which should come with getting any information across has to be far more serious.
Media has to be responsible. The source has to be very authentic. And as you rightly said, Radhika, I think all the panelists would agree with me that a dialogue, an interface that you would like us to speak about. And thank you so much for that. Towards the end, I just want to have one more question, since we have about 2-3 minutes to ask. Panel thing. Do you think that yes, being older is not a very big challenge today?
This is a very lighter moment, because I'm sure everybody's WhatsApps are buzzing this morning with women, their messages just keep coming non-stop. So I just had to read this out because it just came, and this was just so apt and it really caught my attention. And just because Nita said about the 50s being the new 40s, so this couldn't be more apt. And forever young woman. Yeah.
So I think our chronological age does take us to some problems between a year-old who wants to be 40, look 40, behave 40. What would you advise her? What care would you advise the postmenopausal women or the menopausal or perimenopausal?
The three most important things.
So what would you like to tell them?
So the mature age group mainly to detection of the diseases at the earliest so that the treatment can be provided, and before that the preventive aspects have.
So we have to radiate as well as absorb. So radiate good and absorb good. Thank you.
It's all about an attitude.
Thank you so much. I think it's been an excellent panel. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank each panelist of mine for sparing this lovely Sunday morning and coming and sharing their ideas and their personal experiences with us. Thank you so much. I'd like to then hand over to Megha. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are also planning to, we also would welcome questions from you if there are any questions, any queries. The panelists I would request them to sit there and we would like to answer your queries. And I'd like to invite Dr. Ragini, the director of the hospital, to come on the dais and maybe we could take questions if we have.
In our life nowadays, as she rightly mentioned, all teenagers will first of all Google the thing to find out media, because whatever information is being displayed on media is not always correct. It's most of the times it's erroneous.
I think that's a wonderful comment. Deconstruct the media.
Yes, it's important to deconstruct the media myths.
Media myths. Yeah. This is somebody else who wanted.
Education or the different term family skills education, etc. But there is nothing much is happening in spite of it. There has been a lot of quite controversy.
Actually, Dr. Pratima, I think you would be the right person to answer this.
As far as government perspective is concerned, most of the schools, now they have got the life skill education classes, and it is an essential part of their syllabus now. It has been introduced into the syllabus to have the life skill education classes in all the schools. And from the health point of view, all the major hospitals are conducting special sessions for the adolescent children in the schools. And my aim has been to, ask all the doctors, all the gynecologists as well as the pediatrician to adopt at least one school. If they adopt one school, then as their point was taken, that they can go through the whole journey of their children in that school. They can follow up the children, they can do whatever they want to teach, tell them, give them information, treat them if there is any problem. So that is the best idea, is to let them adopt one school each. Gynecologist, each doctor should adopt one school at least.
In this aspect, I will like to I have participated to seminars for schools in Assam. But the main problem here comes what? We educate children, but once they go home, even their parents, they don't know. I think we should start the parents first.
Parenting classes.
Because even we as a medico, in the medical colleges, we didn't had any this topic on sexuality, sexual medicine or like that. So even we as a doctor, we are much ignorant about it.
Actually, this thing is coming up now. It is being introduced into the undergraduate curriculum and the postgraduate curriculum of the colleges, MBBS schools. And we are conducting even training for the interns. Now, interns are being trained. And besides that, all the schools have to have they say that they have to implement it to the periphery level. So it will take time, but definitely all the states of India will be covered under this program. That is called RKSK, Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya कार्यक्रम.
I have two daughters. One is 9-year-old, another is 5. So, is there any scientifically any particular age when you're actually starting to tell them the differences and about sex education? And another thing I wanted to mention to this youngest panelist, I'm sorry I can't get your name. Avni, how you communicate with your parents and the level of comfort and the level of openness that you have, and which I'm sure even the parents should encourage, that it's not only their children but that they also their friends. It's not that they are not really thinking bad about you. So I think the broad-minded is a term that is
But the onus is on the parents to appear broad-minded, and then you have to ask your.
That
you
is
have to know what is the definition.
is what she thinks.
Break down this barrier of the narrow-mindedness and all. And believe me, there are a lot of other things which go into making somebody a broad-minded parent or a narrow-minded parent.
I
No, if they are saying something is not correct, then they have to prove their points to the children why they feel it is not correct.
It's all about perception and the way things are communicated. I think the
Right,
whole thing
right.
is about vision and you are at comfort, then
Yeah, the comfort level.
you're the broadest minded,
Exactly.
mother. But it's all about how.
Yeah, but that was just for.
I wanted to add for this gentleman from Assam, advice comes later. It is all in the school. A good school should take the onus on themselves that they are able to make the difference give the difference between good and bad. I got 1.2 billion population in India, rapes per year is 24,000. USA, a country with only 0.3 billion population, rapes per year 83,400. And then how many documentaries did you see on BBC airing worldwide on Women's Day preaching USA on its social system? Rapes are so India is still not loose on its values, and that is why the Indian education system is now, earlier when we were small we used to have moral science as a subject or moral education. Now it's no more there, it's not active. The Indian education system says 19 and just got married. I did not know, because I never studied commerce, I did not know what to do with this document. My father-in-law, mother-in-law had gone to work, my father and my mother had gone to work. I didn't know document आया सुबह receive किया. I didn't know अब मैं इसको बैंक लेके जाऊँ क्या करूँ. I had a bank account, but I didn't know कि उस draft से पैसे कैसे. Those are life skills. When my son moved from class 11 to 12, I started telling those are lessons of lives. In road safety, India has so many accidents. Road safety, red, yellow, green light, look left, right, left, and then cross the road. Besides this, nothing is being taught in any of our curriculum on road safety. That is why rash driving.
Right.
So now you understand how important school education is, that we all know. But school education and the responsibility, not only doctors come later in our life, it is the teachers who need to grill everything into the students' heads.
We have a question from.
It's not exactly a question, it's just a point of view. You see, we have spoken about rapes just 2 minutes before, and before that we have spoken about schools and adolescents. We have just spoken about rapes. They happen the world over, and as tuition and schools play. But we must remember the first teacher is parents. We have assaults on 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds. They must be taught to differentiate between good touch and bad touch. Most of the rapes happen in family.
And I think for this, I'd like to invite Dr. Rani. So to talk about, we have one more question, a male viewpoint, yes, absolutely, and then we have.
This is not a question. I just got a poem written by a newly married woman. I think we all will like it. He didn't like the casserole and he didn't like my cake. He said my biscuits were too hard, not like his mother used to make. I didn't make the coffee right. He didn't like my stew. I didn't fold his pants the way his mother used to do. I pondered for an answer. I was looking for a clue. And then.
Thank you so much. I think we are very enlightened and empowered men in this audience. I'd like to request Dr. Ragini now to say a few words and talk about the adolescent program.
Because you treat in the hospital, it becomes okay for 10 days. But after that again they are going to the poor family. So he is again the same. So how do we solve this problem?
That is the economic.
So dear friends, I have listened all the questions from the dais and of the dais, and the answer is W, which is for you as a philosophy. We are not here only to treat the patient as a disease, but we are going to do, and we are planning discussion as the opening of the hospital is a platform to bring the like-minded people, and we will join together the hand. And I am very happy to tell you, it's the first time in the partner, 4 doctors in the team. One is Dr. Neeta. She is a WHO consultant for the adolescent medicine. Dr. Gupta Chaudhary, she is again trained adolescent, and our psychologist, she is a PhD in psychology, and our Dr. Munia Bhattacharya. So along with them, and the Shan program is by her. So along with her guidance, we are going to do a lot of things. Because what we believe, that is the young ones where we have to make the difference. So on the gender bias, we believe in the gender equality. When we teach our young ones for this, only then we are able to negate this crime against women and the female feticide. So please join us in our pete and be a partner with all our community outreach program with us. Thank you very much.
One thing I want to say that, as she has mentioned, that adolescent problems, but I also agree that because I was also a psychologist, I'm also a psychologist, and I was doing counseling in government schools. That the students be a very strong rapport between the girls and the counselor. So not only one workshop is not enough for them. In one workshop we should make some rapport, and after that in private day should be fixed in the school there where the doctor or the psychologist may go there and discuss with their problems. That is much more important. Only doing the workshops, it is not some.
This is the answer which by when we are having this adolescent clinic daily between the 3 to 5 and
They fixed in the school himself because the students
this is something which is we have to talk to the education department. This is not in our hand. What we can do, that we can promise only. Yeah.
Actually, government has fixed they have started all the adolescent friendly health clinics in all the states and all.
Encouraging the students to take help. So at the end, I want to thank you all. You have taken your time out on a Sunday. So many thanks to all of you, and over to the Meena.
Alice, thank you for moderator, Meena, and thank you to the wonderful audience, our distinguished guest. I think you've been a very very participative audience. Thank you so much for being here. I would request Dr. Nidhi. I request you to felicitate Dr. Pratima. We have a token of our Can I request Dr. Savita? I request you to felicitate Mrs. Mukabala. May I request Dr. Yadav to please felicitate Mrs. Aparna Lakshmi. Request Dr. Anupma. Thank you so much to all our panelists. And last but not the least, I request Dr. Ramani.
Can we have a nice
And I request you all to join us at the inauguration of our hospital. And we just walk down the road. Thank you.